developer will take the role, and the
Developers.
basic objective for this one is to check whatever the units they have been developed. So all those particular units would be tested. So now, so this is a code test. So immediately whatever the code they have been written, so that unit need to be tested. Okay. So now what is the different type of testings we will be performing here? So we will be performing the unit testing. So this is what the category of the testing which it will perform over here. This we have already discussed. And the next one is the API or on the backend. So I think we have been discussed multiple examples of the hotel example, what do you meant by API or the backend. So now here the role who would be doing this one is QA. Except always you remember one thumb rule, only the unit testing would be taken care by the developers. Remaining things will be taken care by the QA. And UATs here the people will be following it. I'll talk about UAT a little bit more, how we need to do the UAT or what you meant by UAT and all. So we will talk about that one. Already we have been discussed, right? So in terms of levels, but still if you wanted more information, we can talk about that. Now coming back to here, uh, in the API or the backend, what are the means the basic objective? What we will be trying to do is we will be checking the complete functionality is working or not. Now, for an example, what is that functionality in MMT? This is an application, right? Now, I will be giving my two destination from Chennai to Hyderabad, and on 29th, I have been given it. So when I have been given this particular search, it should able to give me all the flights, and then with the flight destination means the times and the price of this particular flights. So I should able to get all these particular details. Means from this particular query has been requested to the different airlines, and different airlines has been responded back to me. So now I need to check this one. See, for an example, now I have been given it from Chennai to Hyderabad. Now if I given from Chennai to Hyderabad, if the flights are coming from Chennai to Mumbai, will it be acceptable? Then that's a functional issue, then that is not expected. See, I'm asking something, it is responding me something. See, when I ask you, when, hey, can you tell me your name? Then if you're saying that I'm from Hyderabad, that not make any sense. So when if I'm asking, hey, where are you from? Then you will be saying that, hey, I'm this is Chris. So that doesn't really make any sense over there. So that's the reason you need to say that, hey, different means whatever we requested, that should be respond back to us. So these are the things are called functionalities, right? So now this functionalities has to be worked. So now here this would be completely talking about, this is a functional and regression testing. You introduced two different terms, boss. I didn't understand what is this functional and regression testing. You're saying that functionality means I can understand that, hey, the functionality of any particular application. So for an example, now you saying that um, so now if the functionality means, if I search here for shoes, if I'm searching here for shoes, so it will be showing me the shoes. When I click on this particular all menu button, so the hamburger menu, so then I'll be having the menu items. So now if I click some, means that is the functionality of that particular things, right? Now the objective is to test the functionality. How you will be testing that one, or what are the different type of testings we will be perform is functional testing and regression testing. The objective is to test the functionality. Functional testing and regression testing. Let me introduce the terms functionality, functional testing and regression testing. Mark my word, throughout your career, throughout your career, at least once in a day, you talk about the functional and regression testing. So these are the basic important terms, and you should understand it very thoroughly. And this is a basic seed. So always you remember, this is very important terminologies. Try to understand this one very carefully and cautious. Functional testing. What do you mean by functional testing? Functional testing is nothing but checking the functionality of an application is called a functional testing. Huh? How simple it is? No. Can you repeat it again? Now, what I'm trying to do, I'm clicking on the bestsellers. I clicked on the bestsellers. Whether the bestsellers is coming back to me or not, this is expected, right? Whether the bestsellers displayed or not displayed. So that's the expected functionality. Checking that functionality is called functional testing. Okay, some more examples. I wanted to do a login. Okay, when I wanted to do the login, as soon as I entered the username password and it entered me to the home page, then that is called a functional testing. Means the expected
Behavior of the applications, sir. You can
um the behavior means that's a probably behavior of the how. For an example, if there is a wrong behavior, see,
okay.
always the behavior would be two categories: right behavior, wrong behavior. But your testing, the functional testing, always depends upon your right behavior.
Okay.
Okay, so now you enter the username and password, and then you go. I mean, you will try to go, and as soon as you enter your username and password, it should go to your home page, whether it is happening or not. So that's the functional testing. See, and what are these all things are called as? See, now these are the links, these objects, this carousel. This is called carousel. Okay, so means they not this one. So in the home page you'll be having it, right? Okay, not here. It will this one. This is the carousels. Okay, now you have these buttons, links, text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons. All these things are there. What these things are called as?
Object properties. Functionalities. Functionalities.
Web elements. Web elements.
Functionalities.
Functionality.
Think you guys are missing some basics. Functionality means, I need to give you some
Components.
example.
GUI, sir.
Yeah, web elements. Web elements.
Okay, I'll just give you some example. You know Surya, right? A film actor. I'm randomly taking, so don't worry that why he's taking some actor. Surya is there. He acts well, he dances well, and he sings well, he performs well. When he performs some actions, okay, when he performs some action, means when he performs some actions, those are called the behaviors. Now he is 5.8 inches height. He is tall, means he is fair. He is means he have stout body. So now when I say this one, so these are the properties of that particular object or properties of him. There would be a man. For a man, there are behaviors and there are properties, right? The same way, when you wanted to talk about a, in the web, all these things are called as web elements or objects. For an example, now these are all objects, right? These are all objects. So now this is a hamburger menu. This is an object. This is an object. This is an object. Everything is an object. Anything, button, UI, radio button, check boxes, anything. UI means UI is a place where you can have your objects. User interface. GUI, graphical user interface. In graphical user interface means which you can see that in that interface I have all these objects, or this is a web application, right? So then I can call it as a web elements, or these are called as elements. Elements, web elements, objects, everything is same. Now for this particular objects, it can have two things. One is properties, one is behavior. It's the same thing. Surya will have behavior and he will have properties. The same thing here. If you see here, now when I click on this particular installation, you see here, there is some parameters for the installation. I'll take some other thing which is easy for you to understand. Gift card, you see it, the gift card. So it have some properties. You see it, the gift card here, right? So it have some properties. means he is he is 6 feet height, or he is stout, and he is smart, and he is fair. You see that particular parameters, right? So that is what the parameters or the properties or the characteristics it talks about. Every object will have the properties. With these properties, we will identify what's his name. His name is Surya. What's his height? His height is 5.8. What's his complexion? So he is fair. So now that is what the properties of that object. And what is the behavior of the object? If I click the gift cards, then the gift cards will be show me the gift cards, list of gift cards. The same way, he is an actor. He performs the action. He fights well. He dances well. He sings well. He acts well. So that is the behavior of that particular object. Now the behavior of this object is this particular functionality. As soon as I clicked on it, it should display this particular informations. Always you need to remember these terminologies. It is very, very important. So now checking the functionalities of this particular UI elements according to their requirements is called a functional testing. Guys, don't by heart the definitions. Ever see, well, that's the reason what I'm doing is I'm giving you the answer, and I'm asking you the questions. Usually what the question should be, hey, what do you mean by GUI objects or web elements? So now I given you the answer. Hey, what are these things are called as? Check boxes, radio buttons, links, search boxes. So what are these things are called as? So these things are called as web elements. The same way, what do you mean by functional testing is checking the functionality of this particular objects is called as a functional testing. Example, I entered the username, password, and then click the button. It should go to the home page. Example, I click the gift cards so that it should go to the gift cards page, and then it should show me the list of gift cards. If it is showing, then it's working. If it's not showing, then
it's not working.
Functionality
then
is
it
not
is called
working.
as. Then what is it called as?
Uh, bug or defect.
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 So tomorrow, by coming to the session, I wanted to see that you people need to answer me. What is the difference between a bug, defect, issue, and an error and a failure? Okay, note it down. So tomorrow when you're coming, I need to know the differences between all these five. Now you need to understand that if at all there is a deviation from an expectation, see what is my expectation? I click the gift card, it show me the list of gift cards. If it is deviated, that if it is not showing me the gift cards, it is showing me something else, then that's a deviation. If there is a deviation, then this is called as a bug. So what is the difference between a bug, defect, error, issue? No. You need to understand, use the proper terminology. Hey, give me that. What
When
what
tested,
I need
we
to
got
give?
that is called defect, sir.
Sir, a defect is
When
deviation
it's
from
the
the
developer, that is bug.
Okay.
That one only
Guys,
they
yes.
sent
Relax. Go back, see that, read well, come back tomorrow. I need not only the difference between a bug and defect. I need to have the difference classification for all. Defect, bug, error, issue, failure. For all the classifications, you need to understand these things. Okay. Why? Because for an example now, if you are using the wrong terminology, see previously I asked what is these things are called as. Everyone said different terminologies. Someone said that functionality, someone said that it is a property, someone will say that it's a web element, someone say that it's an object properties. So those, see, by saying that word easily, it is sensible that so you don't know about this concept. So we have to be very conscious when we are speaking about the terminologies. If you're not speaking the terminologies, easily we can catch about it. Now it is very simple. If you don't know the differences, what we will say, for an example, I'm cooking. When I'm cooking, there are two white things, which is in two jars, which is in small, minute parts. Give me that particular thing. Give me that. If I say that, there might be a salt, there might be a sugar. Instead of salt, can I put sugar? Or instead of sugar, can I put salt? Both things are not suggested. So when I required salt, you need to ask me, hey, give me salt. When if I wanted sugar, then I should ask, hey, I need sugar. So that clarity and that should be very clear. We should have it. When I'm cooking, I should know that. If I'm asking, hey, that white color thing is there, right? You give it to me. That is not good. So the same way, you should understand the differences between these terminologies very clearly. Where to use what? That's the most important thing. If you're preparing kesari, you should use sugar, not salt. When you're preparing any particular food items, which is masala, so to have it, so there you shouldn't use sugar, you should use salt. So that you should understand. Okay, so now coming back to the functional testing. So now functional testing is nothing but checking the functionality of an UI object or a web element, then that is called a functional testing. Or checking the functionality according to the requirement, then that is called functional testing. You define in your own words and give the example. Giving the example is the most important thing. See, when you given the example, the interviewer feels, oh, that he understands the concept. Try to understand concept, not to by heart anything. You give any example, that's perfectly fine. Don't give this kitchen examples, because for your understanding I'm giving you this all. Probably my intention not to give this you can remember these things, so that's the reason I was trying to give all these stupid examples. But when you're trying to give these examples in your interviews or when you're talking to the people, try to give from the web application. Hey, uh, I just wanted to search from Chennai to Mumbai flights, but it was displaying me Chennai to Hyderabad flights. So now then this is a bug. And uh, when I when I entered this to address and the destination address and the date and the number of passengers, click the search button. The functionality of the search button is what? It need to display me the list of flights. So this is what the functional testing is. How simple it is. With an example, you are defining the definition. It shouldn't be like a theoretical definition. So I think you have been seen many in a movie called Three Idiots, right? In Three Idiots, Amir Khan, and in Telugu and Tamil, so we have Vijay and others have been acted. uh, Namba or friends. So now if you see here in that movie, he will ask one question, hey, can you tell me about what is a mission? So he defines in a very theoretical way. Not exactly that. So we need never to be by hearted something. It should be very easy, simple, and it is the easiest way to express the things. That should be the way we should understand. That should be the way we need to learn, and don't make too much complicated in understanding for yours or us. So when you explain something, it should be easily understandable by others. That is what. See, what do you mean by interview? So they wanted to know whether you know these concepts or not, right? You explain your concept in your own way, own your language. So English is just a language. Don't bother about it. It's not our mother tongue. So if you're struggling, you can tell in your own language though. But understand the concept is most important. So when we ask the definition for the functional testing or anything, you can say that, hey, there are many multiple objects in the UI. So checking that particular functionality of that particular object, whether it is working fine or not, or as per the requirement or not, then that is called functional testing. This is one way of testing, means one way of saying this. And another way of saying the same definition, checking the functionality of an object. Way of testing, saying this same definition. I'll take username and password, enter this one, click the login button, go to this particular home page. The functionality of the login functionality is working. So this is testing this particular functionality is called functional testing with an example. So choose your own way of defining things, but make sure that it should be understandable by others. So that is how you need to practice the definitions. And don't by heart. This is not an examination. So this you need to understand forever. So that's the reason that is how you need to practice it. Now this is called functional testing. Any questions still here? Now this functional testing would be covered as part of APIs. Last time I said that I'll talk about this one later. So this box, this cell. So now this is what we are discussing now. Okay, any other pointers? Are we clear on the functional testing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have one doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Hello, Krish.
Yes, please go ahead.
Manish, I have one doubt. Suppose we don't have UI available. So first of all, we have to perform the API testing, right?
See, whenever there is an
Is it?
application, when we have an application,
Um,
always we will be
um,
having one factor. Hey, see, that is what you need to take the decision. Your car got punctured. You're going for your vacation. I'm just saying, okay, I'm going for a vacation. So suddenly my tire got punctured. Now what I need to do? I need to go and fix my tire, not the engine. So when that means before doing the thing, understand what exactly the problem is. The same way, if you are trying to test something, first you understand that what it required. It is very simple. I'm trying to prepare a curd rice. Did it require some garam masalas and everything for preparing of curd rice?
No, sir.
We don't require
No.
curd, boss. Why we require garam masalas? If an application is having only APIs, why I will test UI? Not
yeah, right.
required,
Got
right?
it. Got.
See, if
Yeah.
an application, it depends upon the application which you are getting it for testing mode. What is the
Mm.
requirement? Understand your requirement clearly. If your requirement says that, hey, boss, it need to be tested from the APIs. I told you, right? When I wanted to prepare a curd rice, I just required curd, not garam masalas. See, so now, if it is required for UI only, when it is a UI, there is no only UI because under the UI, definitely there would be APIs. But if the client says that, boss, you test only UI, I don't want the APIs. Was you need to understand one point from UI behind the screen, it is calling the API. Now you see it here. As soon as I click this search button, or if I click this particular link, behind this one there is an anchor tag which it calls the account details or order
Yeah.
details. So you want me to test only UI or the backend also? I asked you to test UI only. Okay, fine. If you don't have the problem, then fine. Our responsibility is to guide and recommend the people. See, you are the SMS subject. SME means subject matter experts. We are the QS. So we need to guide the people, boss. This is how we need to do it. If they say no, 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 I wanted to do this in this way, okay, do it. What it's go for me? See, my responsibility I said to you. You are not listening. Then I'll go ahead with whatever it is given for me. So that is how you need to deal. And did I hope I answered your question?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Okay. Any other questions from the functional testing? Cool. Now let's go for regression testing. Guys, this is very, very important. Many of the people will say, means they will not understand this concept properly. Every time they will do it wrong. Okay, do concentrate. This is very important. Try to understand the concept as much as possible. Regression testing can be performed in two scenarios. Scenario number one. Actually, I have developing an application. Okay, when I'm developing an application, so consider this is a OTT platform because that's the latest trend, right? I always give some Gmail examples. Now I'll try to even upgrade myself. OTT platform. In this particular OTT platform, what would be the basic functionalities? You take Netflix, Amazon, AHA, any channels. All the videos would be there. Okay, video streamings would be there. Genres would be there. What genre you wanted, horror, crime thriller, or drama, whatever the genre, according to the videos, and language segregations and profiles. Profile means it's your own profile, whether what is subscription you have been taken it, and all those details will be there. These are the three functionalities we'll have it. For the first functionality, what I'll try to do is I'll try to create the login and the profile creation. So this is the first version of app. Everyone understood very clearly. because at one shot I can't develop the complete app, right? So first version I created login, profiles, and subscription things. Second version I have been created with the videos, because immediately the people can go and see the videos. This is version 2. Now version 2 means it's upgrade on the same application. So previously I have this one, login and the profile. Now I'm upgrading with the videos. Now when I have been added this new functionality, you will be testing the new functionality as part of your functional testing. Hey, whether all the videos are working fine or not, whether it's streaming properly or not, whether I can pause the buttons playing or not. So these things we are doing it, right? These things are working fine. But because of this addition of new functionalities, is there any particular impacts in the existing one? Because of the new functionality, if there is any impacts on the existing functionality or not, checking them, this is called regression testing. How simple is this? Is it not easy? I'm telling you, right? You love to learn testing, but you should feel that the concepts are very easy and no need to by heart it. Now you come here, you see it here, very clean. So I'm introduced the new functionalities. I'm testing the new functionalities, but also checking the impact on the existing functionalities. If there is any impacts on the existing functionalities, then this is called the regression testing. Hey, this is scenario number 1. Means what? Can you give me some layman example? Okay. I went to doctor with a fever. He given me paracetamol, crocin. Because of this particular crocin, what the crocin will do? It will reduce my fever. But because of paracetamol, I have allergies to me. Immediately it will come the face bubbles on my face, all mouth ulcers, everything I'll get it on my face. So this is a side impact. I need to check, means before giving this tablet to me, doctor need to check that, hey, whether you have any particular allergies. Without checking that one, he given me the tablet, and I got all mouth ulcers and face bubbles and everything happened. I'm not giving an example. This is a fact for me. So I'm allergic to the paracetamol. So when we have crocin, when I have taken the crocin, I have all these side impacts. It given me for reducing the fever, but it created me other problem. The same way, when we introduce a code, there might be an existing issues, and with the in the existing code, you will be having a lot of issues because of the new code. So you'll check the new code as part of functional testing, and also you will check the existing modules to know if there is any impacts because of this particular new functionality. Then this is called as regression testing. That's it. This is scenario number 1. And scenario number 2, what is scenario number 2? Now when I'm testing, when I'm doing my functional testing, I identified few bugs. Now when I have identified a bug, then it will go with the bug life cycle. So did we discuss the bug life cycle, Pina? Did we discuss, guys, bug life cycle, BLC?
Yes, sir.
Bug
Okay.
life cycle we haven't discussed.
Okay, what is bug life cycle?
Not like in detail, not in detail.
No, sir.
Just a flow chart, sir.
Like the basics.
Okay. See, all
The
these
different stages
now,
the bug goes through, starting from that.
okay,
state
please.
of when
Before
the
talking, I wanted to know your
infected
name and talk. Okay, I think it is Ashwin, right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you go ahead, Ashwin?
Yeah.
What are the phases?
uh,
What are the phases we have?
different stages the bug which goes through. Okay, it will be first open until the developer opens it and accepts it. It will be the open state. Like once he approves it, it will become open. Then he may reject the bug If he rejects, the developer may reject the bug, then it will go to the status reject. Sometimes in the next release they will postpone it, so it will go for the next release phase. At that time, it will go to the deferred state. And if he starts working on it, it will be in the open state itself. And once he fixes it, then again it will come to the tester, so it will be fixed. If it's fixed, then the tester have to retest it, so it will go to retest state. From the retest state, pending retest, it will go to pending retest. So when it is pending retest, the tester has to check it again actually, whether the developer actually solved the bug and it is fixed or not. So until that point, it will be in pending retest state. Once he retested it again, and if it's good, it will be closed and
Cool.
it will be signed off.
Yeah, almost
If
you
it
have
is
been.
not, the bug, if the tester feels if the tester
Almost you have
feels
been
there is
covered the
still some issue
pointers,
with it, then he will
Ashwin.
not accept it.
What? Okay, so I will make it very simpler way. So whatever you have been given the information. So the first phase. So here is what you missed out. So the first thing is it's a new. As soon as we introduce or
Yeah, yes,
identify
new.
a bug, that's a new phase. And then from the new phase, then it will go to the open phase. In the new will, who is a role? Who identifies these bugs?
Test leader.
Not test lead. Everyone can
Tester.
identify. QA, the
Tester.
testers. Every testers or the QAs will be identified. Now, once it is identified, then it is given to the open state. For whom it will be given? Which role it will be go for?
To the developer.
Developer.
Test lead.
Developer.
Actually,
Developers will go.
the objective in the new, what it will happen is the QA will open this bug. He will logs the complete information. Bug logging will happen in this particular phase. What is bug logging means? It will log that, hey, in which environment I got this one, and what are the steps to reproduce this one. Hey, I need to navigate to the browser, username, password, click the login button, it didn't went to the home page. So that is what the steps to reproduce. And what is the tested data I have been used it with? Hey, I used with Chris 666 and the password 1234. So now this is the password I used, which it didn't work. And these are the steps to reproduce. You write it, tested data, you'll write it, a screenshot, you will be keeping it, and the environment information you'll be keeping it, like a browser information, operating system information, all the things will be there. So this is what a bug logging is called as. So now this will be happen in the new. Next one, dev. It will go to the open space, means open status. And when it is in the open status, the dev team will pick up that particular bug and they will analyze that particular bug. Hey, is this the real issue? Is it a real issue? If it is a real issue, then okay, then it will go for fix. If it is not a real issue, then they have multiple phases. Is it a duplicated? Duplicated means there is already a bug with this one. Why once again you are raising this particular bug? Then they will keep it in the status as duplicate. And then this is not valid. Boss, this is not at all a valid bug. You go and refer the spec. They will say that. And they will say that as per spec. Spec means specification. Specification, why they will call this one specification? Because in good waterfall model, all the requirements will be written into a document. The document is called as a specificational document. Specificational document, functional document, business requirement document, BRS, business requirement specification, or spec, functional spec, FS. So previously those are the terminologies we will be using it, but nowadays it will be called as user stories. Because now I think you have been attended for your agile sessions, right?
Yes.
They will be calling it as user stories. Okay, so now in this phase, the developer will have the options. Either it can be duplicated or not valid or as per spec or deferred. This is one of the most important question usually the people used to ask when you go for the interview. What do you mean by deferred?
Or that particular release, the team don't want to fix it, it will be deferred for the next sprint.
Bug cannot be fixed.
No. The answer is right. See,
It will be postponed to the next sprint.
it is very simple. boss, I asked you go and apply for your passport. You'll say that, boss, I'm not so feeling good today. I will apply for tomorrow. What you're trying to do? Definitely you'll do it, but you are postponing that one tomorrow for any other reason. So that is called deferred. So deferred is nothing but you're not going to fix that particular bug for this release. You're going to fix this particular bug for the next release. Usually, the best example for here is we will go for gym. Hey, from next month I'll go, or I'll pay my fees first day for complete year. But what I'll try to say, I'll go from next Monday.
Making excuse.
So it's not really excuse, but don't tell that someone if someone asks you what do you mean by deferred means
Postponing
excuse.
it.
But
Postponing the
I
work.
just given you what I wanted to give an example is usually I remember deferred means that example gym, so that's where I given it to you. So now for an example, deferred means boss we don't have enough time, enough time and priority now to fix this particular bug, so that I'm fixing this bug for the next. So that's the reason we will be giving it, and then we are keeping that particular bugs. So this is called deferred. Now next one is fixed. So now they identified, they accepted this is a bug, they will fix it. Now they will, once after fixing this one, they will give it to retest. So fixing who role is this? Developer role. Developer will fix this one. So now here
Developer role.
objective is the
Testers.
bug is fixed. Objective is the bug is fixed. Now here the next is retest. Whose role is this?
Your role.
Testers.
Testers. Now what they will try to do, whatever the
And
bug
then-
they have been given, whether it is properly fixed or not, that's what we are checking this one. So now we are calling this one as retest. Why we can write it as test, right? Why we are writing that retest?
We already tested it and found the bug.
Awesome. So now
Again, we have to-
say
that's why it's
recycle means we used it and once again we wanted to use that. So that's a recycling. So now we already test that one and once again we wanted to retest this. But the basic definition for this one is testing the same functionality again and again with the different parameters and multiple test data. It is called retesting. Testing the same functionality. That's what, right? I have tested this one, but now with the different sets of data. For an example, I wanted to test this particular username and password and click the login button. It should go to the home page. This is a bug. Now, first I will test it with mine. Second, I will test it with X. Third, with the fourth credential. Fifth, different sets of data I'll be using it, right? Username and passwords. So with all that username and passwords, if I'm trying to test this one, so then this is called as retesting. Retesting. See now what I'm doing it. I'm testing the same functionality. I'm testing the login functionality only. Again and again with a different set of data. First time I was using it with my user credential. Second time I was using with my friend's credential. Third time I was using with my son's credential. The fourth time I was using with my wife credentials. And fifth time I was using with my girlfriend credentials. Whatever the credentials which I have it, I'm trying to use it and then I was testing this one, right? So with the different set of data, I was trying to test this. So now so testing the same functionality with a different set of data, then that is called as retesting. And if it is retesting is passed, then it will go to closed. If retesting is not passed, once again it will be reopened. This is called reopened status. But you need to ask me one question. Array, where we are, why you are talking about bug life cycle? We are in the regression testing. Why you thought about now? Why we talk about the regression testing?
Scenario 2, we are saying.
Because we were in this scenario 2 when we wanted to do the regression testing. Now you understand in this particular retesting, when I'm retesting that particular bug, I need to check the existing impacted areas if there is any impacts because of this particular bug. See now this is my code. There is a bug. This is fixed. Now once again I introduce the code. I test that particular code with the help of retesting. I am retesting this particular bug. And I will test this particular bug, and even I need to test it, right? This is called as regression testing. So regression testing can be performed in two scenarios. The scenario number one, when there is a new functionality added, we will check the new functionality, and even we will be checking the existing functionality, because if there is any impacts, then that is called regression testing in scenario number one. In scenario number two, when we got a bug and then that particular bug is fixed and retested, so after that one, if there is any impacts on the code because of this particular bug fix, then testing that particular impacted code is called retesting. So in these two scenarios, the regression testing can be performed, and this is what the regression testing is. To understand this regression testing, it took me more than 2 years when I was learning. And it is very simple. It is very simple. If you understand the concept, boss, you tell me, I got a bug and I'm testing that fixed and it is testing. I'll test this functionality with the help of retesting. And I not only test this bug, I'll check the side impacted areas. Then this is called regression testing. I'm checking the same bug again and again. Then this is called retesting. The people will ask you, what is the difference between a regression testing and a retesting? That's one of the important questions. Boss, retesting is a kid in front of regression testing, because as part of regression testing, you will be doing this retesting. Retesting is nothing but once after fixing a particular bug, I will be testing that particular functionality with a different set of data, then that is called retesting. And regression testing, it can be done in two ways. One, when we have new functionality, when we have a bug and then the bug is fixed and retested, then I'll be testing the side impacts. That's it. So this is called regression testing. So we discussed functional testing, regression testing, retesting. Any questions in this? Any questions?
No.
Cool. So very simple. If it is not, then we'll take one small.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ ఉంది సార్.
In the regression
Yeah, you can go ahead. Tell me your name and then you can go. You can ask it.
అరవింద్ స్వామి.
Yeah, Arvind. Tell me.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు రిగ్రెషన్ టెస్టింగ్ లో ఒక బగ్ ని మళ్ళా మనం రీటెస్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత దాని ఇంపాక్ట్ ఈ కోడ్ మీద ఉందో లేదో చెక్ చేస్తాం కదా సార్. అప్పుడు మళ్ళా ఏదైనా ఇంపాక్ట్ వస్తే మళ్ళీ సేమ్ రిపీట్ అవుతుందా సార్ మళ్ళీ?
Awesome. The same. See, for all the audience to get understand. So, what's his question is, when we have been we fixed a bug, we retested this, and once after retesting, we will be doing the regression testing also. When we are doing this particular regression testing, if we have a bug, then this cycle will be repeated, or how it would be happen. So, this is what his question. The answer is, that's it. Yes. Because if there is a bug, once again it will go for the bug life cycle. Unless this is fixed, this cycle will be repeated again and again. This cycle will be keep on repeating. That's it. See, what is my agenda, Arvind? I wanted to give a bug-free application to the market.
Fix the bug.
That's it. How many times I got the bug, that many times I'll try to fix the bug. I'm not left with an option.
Yes.
See, you shouldn't compromise. But whatever you do, even he is a manager, he is a director, he is a head, you shouldn't compromise. This is your profession. Always yes. Professional ethics are high. If someone comes and say that, okay boss, you leave this one, it's okay, we'll fix it. No means no. We will not allow the bug to go into the production. If you are saying right, you give me a written statement. It's okay that this bug can go into the life. See, by seeing testers, the people will shiver. If you have a very strong tester in an organization, so that's the impact you should create it. Testing is an attitude. Never compromise attitude. That we shouldn't give up. And never make friendship with developers. I'm saying that professionally. You can talk, normally to them. So I'm not saying that we are specimens. You talk to your friends, everything is fine, but as a professional, whenever a developer comes and talks to you, okay boss, you leave this one, no. So that's all means. Profession is profession, and then friendship is different always, because there would be lot of fights between a developer and a tester, because they will say that, hey, this is bug. We will be saying that this is a bug. They will say that this is not a bug, because that impacts their career, right? If I identifying lots and lots of bug in your code, then that is doubting your capability, right? The people will feel that offended. There are very less people who can gladly accept that, hey, this is my mistake, I'll rectify. Always people will, even though it is wrong, they will give 100 number of reasons not to prove that they are wrong. That's a human tendency. So the nature and attitude will comes out when in the profession, when there is a discussion between a developer and a tester. Okay, however, hope I have been cleared of that question. Any other pointers?
No, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Krish, myself Manoj. So when we're
Manoj?
doing this retesting again and again, so again we need to check all these functionalities, right? Like if this new functionality is impacted or not every time when we do retesting.
Manoj, you know Hyderabad, right?
Yes, yes,
In Hyderabad, there is two roads. One is Tank Bund Road and one is Necklace Road.
yes, yes.
That road is called as Tank Bund Road. This side road is called as Necklace Road.
Yes.
Why? We can call this complete road as Tank Bund, the same as Tank Bund Road, right? Why it is called as Necklace Road and then that is called as Tank Bund Road? Same
Based
question.
on
The limits. The
yes,
same,
yes,
you are
limit.
checking the functionality only. See, in the functional testing also, you're checking the functionality. In the retesting also, you're checking the functionality only. Retesting is the subset of the functional testing. See, now I'll give you another example. If you know Vizag, complete beach is same, right? From throughout, if you go for the east coast or west coast, the complete beach is there. For example, now when it is in city, it is called as Ramakrishna Beach. If you go to the extent, then it is called as Yadara Beach. And then if you go to this one, they will call as Rishikonda Beach. Hey, same beach, right? After 1 kilometer, you're changing the name. Why? Beach is beach.
Uh,
Based
based
upon the
on limit.
limit, where they are doing the limit they are talking. Now, when they are testing, when they identified a bug and then they have been testing that one, there they call it as a retesting. And if you are first time I'm testing, then that is called as a functional testing. And in the functional testing, there are different categories of testings are there. That testings will be discussing further. See, now what we have been discussed here is, here we wanted to test this one. So now if it is in this particular API testing all thing, we said that we will be doing this functional testing and regression testing. So where we have been defined it, and functional testing will have different categories of testing. Even the regression testing is also part of functional testing. Everywhere we are testing functionality only, right? What else we will test it? And there would be non-functional testing that I'll talk about tomorrow. Functional testing will have different categories. Actually, I had the same doubt when before 13, 14 years back. Hey, here also I'm testing functionality. Here also I'm testing the functionality. Then this should call as functional testing. And always when I go for Hyderabad, I have the same question. Hey, this is also same road. This is also same road. Why this is Necklace Road and then this is Tank Bund Road? Or this is Rishikonda Beach, Yadara Beach, or Ramakrishna Beach. Everywhere the same beach. If it is in Chennai, so we have ECR Beach or Marina Beach, and then Thoraipakam Beach. So why we will have these many different names? It is the same beach road. So then I understand, oh, this is the limit. So to here, this is what the limit, and here to here, this is what the limit. To identify that one very quickly, we will have with a different name, so that it is easy for the people to reach out, because this is a very huge scope. In the huge scope, everywhere if I'm calling the functional testing, it might be confused for me. So now when I was testing it in a bug space, so then that would be called as a retesting. And when I was testing in the initial phase, then I'll be having it as a functional testing. In functional testing itself, I have another means there are n number of testings are there. So those are the things which we will see it in the next sessions. Okay, I think I'm already late by 3 minutes for other class.